For this next session, I'm inviting 3 Dutch young restaurateurs from here, Amsterdam and Utrecht, to the stage. 3 very promising ones with beautiful stores and concepts that they have been creating. In our opinion, they're creating the culinary landscape at this moment, and they're really creating the most exciting concepts. So please give a warm welcome to Freek van Noortwijk, Chong and Schreutelkamp. Guys, welcome.
I'm going to be standing, right?
Yeah, that'll be great.
Right.
Well, and with 2 chairs, will be a difficult thing to do.
Sorry.
Welcome, guys. Thank you. Let's start by introducing yourselves and your store so that everybody in here knows what you guys are doing and in which way you guys are doing it. I wanted to start with you, Freek, if that's okay by you.
It's quite okay with
Perfect.
me.
Thank you.
An honor. So this is indeed my name, Freek van Noortwijk. I'm from the city of Breda. It's a city in the south of the Netherlands, where actually one of our, I think, the most famous restaurants that me and my 2 best friends, which are also my business partners, obviously, sitting over there. Those 2 pretty handsome motherfuckers. Younique van Iwaarde and Guillaume de Beer. We come from, we grew up in, and actually all our lives, besides well, not the best humor, maybe, but also just like love for food and drinks, always was like bringing us back together, both like private and work-wise. And after doing all different studies, we eventually decided to do what our big passion was, and was actually hospitality. So we started with restaurant Guts and Glory, which was now called Guts. Which actually Guillaume and me were the head chefs, and Younique was the front of house sommelier. Now, after opening multiple concepts, we're more managing and overseeing the projects, but still on the floor now and then. We're very complementary in that way. We know our strengths and our weaknesses, so we try to win on our talents. It's hard to see actually in this angle.
I got it here in front of you.
Oh, so that makes sense. I thought am I the only moron here? Which still might actually be true, but nobody knows. So this is restaurant Breda. It's the 2nd restaurant we opened, named after the city we come from. It's a very minimalistic and raw restaurant. Both the interior and what's on the food. Like we try to use as few ingredients as needed in order to just like let them speak for themselves. Only Dutch produce, so only fish from the North Sea, Dutch dairy, cows, game, and most vegetables, obviously. Maris Piper is a brasserie based on, well, you could say inspired by Bob Ricard in London. So really over the top, velvet, marble, messing. It's a bit like what's a bordeel?
Brothel.
A brothel, but then for good food.
A beautiful restaurant. And just
beautiful
opened
ladies as well.
one
but
year
it's
ago?
Just, sorry?
1 year ago you opened?
We opened it now 2 years ago, but it's
2
just
years
all
already.
over the top. So we do like beef Wellingtons, like really proper chickens, omelette Siberienne, so traditional, really good flavors. I think we skipped Guts now. So this is the chef's table. Chef's table is actually a table around the kitchen, as the name suggests. You're probably all familiar with the term chef's table by now, regarding to Netflix. But this is where we literally cook in front of the people, and it's an extra experience where the guests are being served from the hands of the chef. So it's always me or Guillaume or one of the head chefs is cooking, and we do a little piece of entertainment. Well, as you can see, it's going pretty fine. We also have another kebab place. This is with a friend of us, this pretty young man on the right side, Hidde Vloemans. He's also he's also a friend, actually still a friend, from our childhood. And this is where we serve organic and free-range chicken kebab and falafels. Actually, which brings us probably soon to my friend over here in the Foodhallen, which is going to be elaborated on later by Chong. We're planning to open a few more things. like noodle shops and
Oh, I'll
probably
get back to that in a
real
second.
bottles. But
But I'm
I mean,
very, very interesting and very curious what you're going to open and what you're going to do.
thank you.
Just want to introduce Wesley now shortly. You explain what you're doing. You have a short movie with it. It would be nice if you can give us some,
Yes,
some interesting thoughts.
Just a quick overview of what we do. So we started with an idea of me and my best mate Joost to open our own restaurant. And fortunately, we got backed by very seasoned and experienced entrepreneurs in the hospitality business.
One sec, Wes. I just want to show. It would be great if we can get the video on. Thank you.
So first concept is the Streetfood Club, and we're from Utrecht, as you will know it. So Little Amsterdam, as we have the little brother syndrome in Utrecht. So we want to do everything as fancy as our big brother in Amsterdam. So we have smashing interior, which is the first thing. I kind of like compare it to a theme park. Once you get in, you're kind of overwhelmed. And once you get to the floor plan, which are the waiters, they seat you to the table, and we lay out the floor plan of what you're going to be doing that night. Then you have the cocktails, the street food. It's old school hip hop blazing from the speakers, and it's just an experience on itself. We do some big events. Actually, I just talked to Freek, based on Freek right now, and their concept of highlighting a certain city, a certain area, a certain way of cooking. That's our thing right now. And we're very big on the family part. I'll come back to that later in our second concept. It's a very fast video. So this is the Rum Club, which is also a very smashing interior, but very exotic. So we have a Havana theme, we have a tiki theme, old school aquarium. It's very floral, although it's in the cellar, so it's all fake, but yeah. Exotic food from the Caribbean, Jamaican, but also anything that has a white sandy beaches and a tropical vibe to it. Sharing cocktails, and of course rum. We're not a rum specialty shop, but rum gives us a feeling of tropical, of vibing together. You have a phrase in Trinidad and Tobago, it's called liming. It's the art of doing nothing. We want you to do that with us. So that's for us, liming. We have our own branded rum, our own branded gin, and we're trying to get that to the public as well. It's going to end with the word family, and that's really my part, is how to engage your staff members of really feeling like a family. As we work with a lot of international staff members. We are a very big part of their community in Utrecht. And that's what we praise the most ourselves in, of creating that family vibe.
Amazing. Thank you, Wes. Well, we'll speak about it later in a few seconds, but definitely have a look about those two concepts, because what they've created in Utrecht, it wouldn't even misstand in the big cities that we know. It's absolutely amazing. And Chong, on to you.
Thank you. This is what we stand for. We celebrate flavors in the Foodhallen. A concept we started 5.5 years ago, in 2014. We were with some friends, and then we had the great idea to rent out a really big space, 1,200 square meters, and implement food stands. So we tried to implement the best of Amsterdam inside one space and try to create a permanent food festival. So that's what we did in 2014, 1,200 square meters with 21 different food stands, which one of them is Freek's. We rent out the food stands to local concepts, and we operate the bars ourselves. So we have 4 different kinds of bars, which one is specialized in wine, gin tonics, a main bar, and craft beer. On a yearly basis, oh sorry, this is really fast.
No,
This is the
we're going
Canary
back,
Club.
we're going back, we can do that.
No problem.
There we are.
We have around 700,000 unique visitors on a yearly basis. We managed to create a place which is actually a real destination for all the tourists coming into Amsterdam. And from 2014 till this moment, we're still growing every year, which even surprised ourselves. We're very happy, and from this point, we also looked at different cities in Holland to make another Foodhallen, but then very specific for that place.
Because with the Foodhallen, you now have one in Amsterdam, but also in Rotterdam and The Hague. Huh?
We opened, but we will see that in the next slides. We also opened one in Rotterdam and one in The Hague. This is the Canary Club, a restaurant operated by ourselves. It's situated next to the Foodhallen, and this is 700 square meters. It's event space, but also an all-day concept where people can come in to have breakfast, lunch, dinner, drinks. This particular photo is of the pool bar. It's upstairs, and we tried to create a pool. It's dry, there's a bar, we can rent it out for parties. There's a lot of photo shoots coming in. It's a very Instagrammable location. Next one, Foodhallen Rotterdam, opened in 2018 in an industrial building. It was an old warehouse where oil and tea used to be stashed. 1,100 square meters, very different from what we're doing in Amsterdam, because we think that every city is different, different public, different people, so the whole design is also different. And of course also with local food stands, so all with local people. And also in this concept we integrate different bars with different kind of drinks. And the same concept as in Amsterdam, we operate the drinks, and they operate the food. The most recent one, 2019, we opened up in The Hague. A little bit smaller, different kind of building in the middle of a city center with a lot of traffic, people walking by, shoppers. It's situated in an, it's kind of like an oasis in the middle of the city center, and it really needed a boost. And now recently it got developed with a new 4-star hotel, Loetje. I don't know if everyone knows that. It's a very popular concept in Holland. And this concept has 12 food stands, also with different areas. We try to, this design was built up from the idea that all big cities have squares, and on those squares people sit around. Around the squares there are cafes and restaurants where people can eat, and we also try to create that in this design.
You also have a short video of a few seconds.
Yep.
What you're doing there. Thank you, Chong.
Thank you.
Join me over here, guys. Well, all three of you have created beautiful concepts. I think it's amazing what you guys are doing. But the big question, of course, we're here at the Global Restaurant Investment Forum. What's next for you guys? I mean, I've heard you all have plans in that way. I've heard you have big plans as well with the Street Food Club.
Yeah, we're actually opening in Breda, your hometown, this year. We found an amazing building. That's for us where it starts. So we don't look for it to expand. We want to expand naturally, so not in a way that just open up venues and slots everywhere.
Yeah.
It has to be something with a kick. This is an old theater, amazing. It's 1,200 square meters, biggest. It's twice as big as the restaurant we have now, and we'll be opening this September, hopefully. Same concept, but again, as Chong said, a different approach. Breda doesn't have university like Utrecht does. It's a lot older crowd. And so we'll probably give it a different twist. Now our main thing is very funny puns with cocktail names, very sometimes sex-driven or offending. But we'll probably dim that down for that city. So every city will have different approach.
Sorry.
Because I've heard you want to open.
Insinuating that Breda is not ready?
No, I'm sorry. I'm not trying to offend you. No, but we're trying to get into the 2.0 version of what we did. We really want to shook up the city with loud hip hop. We dimmed out the hip hop with like a couple of dBs, and same we're going to do with our language or with the way we approach guests. So maybe a more adult version of what we do now.
Because the Street Food Club at this moment is very successful, not?
It's we have to
the
say.
The queues in front of the door,
yes,
I've
still,
heard, in Utrecht.
Wednesday to Saturday, it's a queue of a minimum of 5 to a maximum of 45 minutes, and people still want to wait.
If I can ask, what's the average spending of your guest, and how does that proceed?
Lunch-wise, it's about 15 euros, I think, and dinner-wise, it's about 35. So averaging around 20, 25 something.
And if I'm correct, you created high quality of food for low prices in that way.
Yeah,
What created the buzz in Utrecht?
It's very high volume, and because it's high volume, it's always fresh. Everything comes fresh in every day, and that's what we take pride in. Actually, when you just talked about the numbers, and as Chong told, I just went on my calculator to calculate, and we're about 250 to 300,000 guests in one restaurant.
And after Breda, are there more cities you're looking into? Is there a moment you might need some capital investment?
Yeah, not for now. We do everything in our own. As I said, I'm backed by experience and financed entrepreneurs, so we don't need that now. We're not expanding don't want to expand too rapidly. So for now, everything is in our own command. So for now, Breda, and then probably The Hague and Rotterdam. They're not 100% sure yet. So, but yeah, we have buildings, and as we said, everybody has problems with council, as we. It's
challenges.
It's challenges. Yeah, problems. Yeah, challenges. So it's very challenging. Yeah, it's very challenging.
You, Freek? We just spoke to you, and I was wondering. I read a story a few weeks ago where said you might be a little bit quiet for at least a few months because you've opened quite a lot, but.
I say this sometimes, and then the experience always tells me that I have to come back after a few weeks, apparently, already. Because, well, as I told you, we are going to open a noodle shop. Well, ironically enough, also in the Foodhallen. And actually, the funny thing is, like, you make money out of us, and then you come to spend it in my restaurant again. So we stay friends. That's a good thing here. But we
read about average spending, about 100 euros a person average.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Is that dessert?
No, it's not in the kebab place, unfortunately. It would be really nice, also for you, since you have
kebab.
Yeah, but no, it's well, I think for Breda and Maris-Pipe definitely true. Maybe in Guts it's a bit less. It also depends on the season. I mean, in December, for example, we got the people that go to the tourists that go to sleep in the conservatorium or the Dillen or whatever, and they come to our restaurants. In January, well, it's a bit low season, February, maybe the hostels are fully booked. Those are the times that you can rent out your apartment to an Italian couple who seem to be six Italian guys smoking weed all day long and trying to eat kebab. So the market is being diverse there. And I think it's what you also suggest, it's good to know when people, where people want what. So, yeah.
What are your plans in that way, Chong? I mean, you've opened in 3 cities now. It's booming.
We opened 2018, 2019, and as what Wes said, we don't want to grow too fast. So 2020 is a year for us to focus on building a back office, trying to establish a more a better base for us to grow in the future. So yeah, 2021 will be for us the next thing.
Because the numbers of guests coming into your Foodhallen are amazing.
Yeah, that's for Amsterdam.
It's crazy.
The rest is not that.
No, of course, but also 350,000 already in Rotterdam.
Yeah,
I mean, those are amazing numbers.
Yeah,
there are not a lot of restaurants, with all the respect of call it a restaurant, a big restaurant, in Holland that do that.
No, true.
Would there be a moment that you want to expand maybe internationally or go to different areas?
For us now, international is very interesting, but not there yet, because our organization is not. It's not big enough or stable enough to move to abroad. But yeah, never say never. I think in the near future we will, of course, go to.
I think we all agree on the fact that a good back office is very important in order to grow. I mean,
is it a challenge at a certain moment that you see that you missed
yeah, well, I mean, the first it was just the 3 of us, and it was always like we were always there. So, I mean, then you have total control, but then you expand, open another restaurant, another one, you come in this managing role, and then you don't have the overview, you know, like, and then it's very important to create a certain hierarchy, although I have this, well, problem with authority. The thing is, though, that the people that work for and with you, they need some authority, because you want to just keep it simple and overviewable, and this is what Younique, for example, has been working on last year, with just having this very simple system of people who you can delegate to.
Yeah, because your team has been growing. You have a operational director, you have a wine director, if I'm correct.
Yeah, human resources, but for example, Guillaume is the executive chef. He creates almost all the dishes, but it's too much for him all by himself.
You're a chef yourself. Did you step down a bit?
No, I create dishes now and then because I like cooking, but I'm more, you could say, as a more supervisory chef. So more just when I'm in the restaurant, I'm working and checking. and also wear a chef jacket, but also go to the tables, talk to the people. You know, they also like to do this little show pony trick or whatever, because I don't know, some people like that apparently. Not you guys noticed, but now I think now he has like in every restaurant we have a head chef, sous chef, and they also are taken in this process in order to keep creating, and also like everybody can order whatever they want, just keep on creating, although it's staff food, whatever, just try to innovate.
Wes, when I get back to you, Rum Club, how many cocktails are you doing on a Friday night?
Yeah, a lot. On a Friday night, it's about...
I tried to get in 2 times,
yeah,
I couldn't get in.
Between,
I didn't know you before.
in winter, it'll be about 800, and summer will be like 1,200.
But it's massive, it's just a cellar that you built, but the interior is so amazing that everybody shows up.
Yeah, so it's efficiency, it's just efficiency. We have, but we have 10 bartenders on that night, on a busy Friday night, 10 cocktail shakers. But it's all about, so we pre-batch everything. So let's say one cocktail has 5 ingredients. We pre-batch everything that doesn't go to waste, so, and not lemon juice or anything that could go sour or anything. And we pre-batch that, so it's just one way of serving. So instead of like 20, 20, 20, 20, it's 100.
The interiors you created, you don't even see it in Amsterdam yet. And was Utrecht ready for it? Was Utrecht that saturated? Do we see that markets like The Hague or Eindhoven or Utrecht needed these kind of balls?
No, but I'm a local boy. I'm from Utrecht, and that's what we want to do our first business. We know our surroundings. We know what the people are, where they're from. You have a local group of friends that are going to support you every day. So that's where we started.
I find it very interesting that we're all talking about Amsterdam and the rest of Holland, but you can create these opportunities and be booming in different cities. For a lot of people who are going into the Netherlands, it's a very interesting thing you do.
Utrecht is very, very much evolving, and you see a lot of entrepreneurs from Amsterdam right now are checking out venues and checking out places to expand. We're just talking about that. So Utrecht is very interesting. Don't come all at once. Don't take all. Don't take away all our
stop
revenue,
coming to Amsterdam, please.
No, it's Utrecht is very much growing, but we're top of the food chain right now. So I'm not afraid too much about competition. It's all going to enhance the city, and the city's going to grow from it. So,
Chong, before we go to some questions out of the audience, because probably there will be a few. Tonight we're going to the food department. I believe it's 6 o'clock, whatever. It's new. I don't know if you see it as a competitor. It's a different food hall that has been reinvented in Amsterdam. What do you think of the food department?
No, I think Amsterdam is big enough to have several concepts similar to what we are doing. And I think, we have almost 18 million tourists coming in, national and international. And everybody is a little bit different. We know what we do, and we stand for our own, how do you call it?
Product.
Product, idea, concept. We believe in that, and that's what we try to spread out. We celebrate flavors. That's what we do.
Well, it's beautiful what you created in that way. And it's interesting that the three of you, if we speak about that, about investment and about which directions you go, you still might need to be convinced for the future, or you can, with all due respect, what's the best, pay it out of your own pockets. So I think it's very amazing what the three of you, what kind of restaurant concepts you created in a whole different segment, and how you guys are growing rapidly the coming years. So congratulations to that, guys. Very impressive. Let me see if there's any questions out of the audience, because now these three are here on stage, and I would love to give you guys the opportunity to ask them anything.
Blonde lady over there has a question for me in person, I guess.
Where's he?
Younique?
Any guys? Anything you want to ask these? One on the left here.
Actually, Douwe, because of the thing you said last summer, so we were talking with Douwe about on the terrace about how Amsterdam is being overrun with so many concepts, and not all are as good as ours. But everybody needs staffing, so the prices of staffing are going up so much that we decided to go to the smaller cities. We can still create a kind of following and don't cut too much in our profit. So it's one of the reasons, and what you said actually last summer. Or was it a tactic? No, not sure. No.
Ron.
Question about the food halls. Thank you. First of all, amazing work, all three of you. But my question would be, if you have these food halls and the experience that you have, don't you ever look at it and think like, maybe I should develop my own little brand every time someone leaves and there's an empty slot or an empty space? You could easily fill it up by, I don't know, creating your own burger place or creating your own, Did you ever think about it?
Yeah, of course, we thought about it. We know the numbers and we know what how many kebab is sold.
I was just saying, like, like it's like a revenue-based rent they ask, so it's actually a pretty good deal they have over there. So it's better not know.
No, we believe in the concept Foodhallen, and we try to create the experience. And we know for sure that making food it's not for us. It's not what we are good at. So that's why we think, okay, there are a lot of more people in the city who can do a much better job than creating great dishes and food than what we do. So
why do all the big hotels have like external chefs to
Stay in your strength.
Yeah, exactly. Do what you're good at. And I mean, you can't be good at all those different. I mean, we think we can by just cooking a different country every time in guts. But at some point, we've had all the popular countries and animals, and then we just said like, okay, we're going to change the concept because you know your limits. That's also important.
Chong, Freek, Wes, thank you for your time. Thank you for joining today.
Thank you.
Guys, grab them, give them warm applause, grab them, get their card. You don't want to miss out on this opportunity in the future. So. Thank you, guys.